She let a man cut in line at the ATM, not knowing he'd just lost everything and was a millionaire in disguise. It was a chilly Thursday morning in Chicago, the kind where the cold bites through your coat and lingers in your bones. Emma Carter, a single mom of two working two jobs, stood in line at a corner ATM outside a convenience store, clutching her coat tighter as the wind picked up. She had 20 minutes before she had to clock in for her shift at the diner, just enough time to withdraw what little she had left to buy groceries for the week. Behind her, a tall man in a worn-out hoodie and jeans shifted uncomfortably. His face looked tired, not just the kind of tired that came from lack of sleep, but the kind that carried heartbreak and loss. He kept glancing around, almost anxiously. The line wasn't long, but Emma noticed how he rubbed his hands together like he had somewhere urgent to be. She turned around and gave a gentle smile. "You seem in a hurry. Go ahead." The man blinked, surprised. "Are you sure?" Emma nodded. "I've waited for worse things in life than an extra 2 minutes." He hesitated, then stepped ahead with a quiet, "Thank you." He looked at her like no one had been kind to him in a long time. And then, just as quickly, he used the ATM, withdrew a small amount, and walked away without another word. Emma went about her day as usual, not thinking much of it. Just a small act of kindness, she figured. 2 weeks later, she was called into the diner manager's office. She assumed she was getting another shift cut, but instead, a sharply dressed man was waiting there, clean-shaven, confident, and oddly familiar. "Hi, Emma," he said, standing up. "You probably don't recognize me." She narrowed her eyes. "Should I?" "I was the man you let cut in line at the ATM," he said, smiling warmly. "That morning. I just lost my wife. We were married 15 years. She died unexpectedly in her sleep. That morning, I'd packed a bag and left the house. I didn't know where I was going, I just knew I couldn't breathe inside that empty home anymore. I looked like a drifter, and truthfully, that's what I felt like." Emma felt her throat tighten. I'm so sorry." He nodded slowly. "You didn't know me. You didn't owe me anything. But you gave me kindness anyway. It reminded me that good people still exist. It reminded me to keep going." Emma lowered her eyes, not knowing what to say. But then he added, "I'm also the CEO of a real estate development company. I built that shopping center your diner sits in. I was undercover that day, taking time to disappear and clear my head. I hadn't planned on speaking to anyone, much less finding someone who would restore my faith in humanity." He reached into his coat and handed her an envelope. Inside was a check for $50,000. Emma stared at it, stunned. I can't accept this." "You already earned it," he said simply. "This isn't charity. This is what happens when one person's kindness echoes into another's life. Use it for your kids. Fix the car. Start something new. Whatever you need." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. She hadn't cried in months, not because life wasn't hard, but because she didn't have the time or energy. Now, she let herself sob. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. He smiled. "You already said it. With 2 minutes of patience." That day, Emma didn't just leave the diner with a check. She left with renewed hope, that the smallest gestures could lead to the biggest changes, that you never know what someone's going through, and that kindness given freely never truly disappears. It finds its way back, sometimes in the most miraculous ways. And from that day on, every time she saw a long line or a tired stranger, she remembered, you never lose by being kind.